All right, guys, you ready? Come in close. Come in real close. I'm going to tell you how your favorite photographer is beating you every time in the editing game. Plot twist, it's not frequency separation. It's a new platform that's out there and available for you right now. It is AI driven and it is incredible, remarkable, sensational. It is Evoto AI, and they are the sponsors of this video. Let's lock in. I've been doing video editing for over 15 years. I've learned frequency separation. I have struggled with dodge and burn. I still don't understand it completely. And now that's a thing of the past. What took me decades to get great at is now available to you in seconds through the turn of a slider with a new platform that's on the market, Evoto AI. Now, you guessed it, Evoto is an AI-based platform that allows you to use slider methods to just simply change your content in real time, giving you portrait retouching, stray hair removal, brightening the eyes, whitening the teeth, even reshaping your subject. It's extremely powerful and it's all at your fingertips. So what you used to need to take into Lightroom and into Photoshop, that's no longer. Now you can drop your images directly into Evoto AI, and in minutes you have a fully formed and functional image that's ready to go to your client. But don't believe me? Just watch. Let's lock in, and I'm going to show you how to get an incredible image in less than 5 minutes using Evoto AI. Let's get it. First things first. In Evoto, you don't have to edit all of your images at one time. I typically go one by one. And so I'm going to make sure that this image in this sequence is perfect and where I want it. And I'm going to show you how we get through it in an express timeline. So I have my model pulled up. The first thing I'm going to do is color adjustments and just make sure that I have my exposure correct and where I want it. Uh, I think she needs a little bit more warmth on her, maybe some saturation just to make these skin tones pop. And so as I'm going through, you see me on the panel and I'm just making slight micro adjustments with my slider. So I'm not even moving the slider. I just click in and rotate it up. And now I feel like we've got a nice polished look. I think I'm going to add a little contrast. I don't want a ton of contrast, so I'm just going to take it up to about 6. Good. Okay, so we've got my color where we want to be. And so the next thing I notice is my background. I just want a nice crisp white. This was supposed to be a commercial image. And so when I bring it in here, I want to remove all the floor at the bottom. So there's two ways you can do this. One, they've got an incredible AI lab. So in the AI lab, you can do smart removal, and you'll just drag a mask across what you want removed. And now when you use smart removal, it does use half a credit to remove objects. So you can remove objects. You also have a people removal where you can remove people. And so you just use that half a credit. It's going to take about, I'd say 30 seconds, maybe less, to render it out. And then it should just completely remove that bottom baseboard backdrop. Now, there is a way that's a little bit faster than this as well. That's integrated already into the platform. See, it's got it clean and smooth. It looks incredible and only use half a credit. So that's an opportunity, but you also have an opportunity here. So I'm going to exit this and not use that for this particular instance. But you can also go to the background adjustment. So in background adjustments, you have a toggle for distraction removal. So this will remove any kind of distraction. That's if you've got, some a tree in the background that looks weird, or if you've got a lamp in the space that looks weird. But once you click it, it just goes ahead and removes that bottom layer, so you no longer see the floor and it's one consistent image. Another thing I like to do when I'm on white is use the black background changer, and just so it's a true white, I use their white on the backdrop, and then I lower the opacity so that you're still seeing some of those shadows from the original image on the floor. So it's giving me a clean white and still give me some of those shadows. Another thing you can do here is if you scroll down, you've got your AI retained shadows. And so that'll actually put the shadows from the original image back into the image. So it looks completely clean and pristine. So now we're going to pop over into portrait retouching. And so this is where I feel like the magic happens. This is what, separates the men from the boys. So we're looking at the portrait retouching, you've got a lot of different sections that you can go into: blemish removal, skin retouching, face reshaping. Like, it gives you full control over how you're going to adjust your image. And so from here, the first thing I'm going to do is I typically zoom into my model. She's got her makeup done, so she doesn't need a ton of touch up. I'm going to do freckle and acne removal at 40. Then I like to remove any dark circles up under her eyes. So I'm going to put that to about 40. So the strength at which you use your sliders will typically make something more or less. And so I typically like to stay around the middle, about 50%, because I still want people to look authentically to themselves. If you go all the way up on these sliders, it starts to look a bit more plastic and cartoony. If you're about in that mid space, it's going to give you something that's a lot more authentic and natural. So I usually remove dark circles. I remove eye bags. So in eye bags, I'm going to put it at 60. Glasses removal is an incredible tool. If she were wearing glasses, it actually takes out the glare from your glasses. She doesn't have any forehead wrinkles or 11 lines. So we're going to scroll down and get to body blemishes. So I tend to go in sequence. Body blemishes is going to take out any marks. I like to go high on body blemishes because then I don't have to go back and do any actual smoothing. It should just go ahead and blend most of her skin on the body from the jump. I also tend to turn up our neck wrinkles so that you can see that has been eliminated and smoothed out. And now we get to skin retouching. And so this is where the magic happens. I'm also going to show you a closer up image so you can see the difference. But once you get to skin retouching in the face, there are a few opportunities you can use here. So you have your even dodge and burn. So dodge and burn is a technique where you're basically lightening and darkening shadows till you get to an even complexion so that it becomes smooth. You're lightening, darkening shadows in the blemishes on people's face or on their skin to where it gets to a point where they are completely even and smooth. So you no longer have that darkness of the color of the shadow, but you have now a smooth texture underneath the skin. And so for me, I tend to first start with dodge and burn, and I'm going to raise that to about 60, so it'll be a little bit stronger. And then if I feel like it's good with the dodge and burn, I don't use frequency separation. But the main thing that you can see here is there's a difference in the bags. Also notice that she has a lip wrinkle that I may move later. But once I've raised that up, I'm actually raise up sculpt as well to sculpt her face, so that way you see a little bit more contour and definition on her face. And then I'm also going to raise up dodge and burn on the body. So what I noticed earlier from the body was once we did the blemish detection, she doesn't have a ton of blemishes, but I do notice that there is some discoloration. So what I'm going to use, instead of just doing even all over, I'm going to use frequency separation. And so that's going to give me the high frequency, low frequency. High frequency being the texture on the skin, low frequency being the blending of the color. And I'm just going to raise that blend up until it is to my liking. So we're going to put about 80%, and that should smooth out the remainder of her skin. So you see some of those blemishes removed. We're gonna add dodge and burn too, because I want it to look real soft. I'm gonna up the skin softening. Yeah, there we go. So now you see a lot of that removed skin. It looks very even, looks very blended. Great. Okay. So once we get from here, we do see her teeth and her eyes. So for the teeth, I like to whiten all teeth. You don't see them as much here, but they're still present. So we're gonna put that up to 7, up to 70, and then up to desaturation. So that means that they're gonna be pearly white once you up that desaturation. And then on her eyes, raise that brightness. I love the eyes to bling and pop. Also want to make sure that we're enhancing the eye whiteness, so that is clean. So now you see her eyes pop within her face. Teeth still brightened. You can even change the direction of your catch lights here. I don't typically mess with them because I like my catch lights as they are, but that is a featured opportunity. Now within hair, a couple of different things you can do here. The first thing I always go to is a straight hair removal. I like it to look straight and pristine, so I go pretty heavy on the straight hair removal. I'm gonna go up to 80. And that's gonna remove all frizz, which I love. This is something that used to take me so much time. And then also when people are working with wigs and different type of hair, you can also up the hair part line. So by upping this, you'll just burn the hair part a little bit so that it's a little darker around the top of her edge. So if they have a wig, it makes it look a little bit more realistic. With her, she's got good natural hair, so she's fine. Love it. Love it. And lastly, we've got full body reshape, which gives you a myriad of tools. There are a couple of different places you could also reshape. You could do facial reshape to just change the look and direction of her face, which we could play with a little bit. But when you get in here, one thing I do for majority of my clients is I just AI reshape, and that's just gonna slim her down all around. And it tries to make it look as natural as possible and as seamless with the settings that she's in to just tighten up the waistline, tighten up the hips, and make everything look seamless. So there's our before and after, just off the basic retouching. And then my voila moment. What I like to do is I like to say copy and paste. And I paste that to the remaining images. And just like that, I have edited all images without ever having to go in and singularly edit each individual one. And so if those images are similar in lighting and style, you just copy and paste it, and then you'll just have to make micro adjustments to the lighting in order to blend it appropriately. But as you can see here, once you go image by image, completely edited image. I used to have to edit each image individually, taking about 30 minutes to an hour per image. Now it took me maybe 10 minutes to edit this image, copy, paste, and we're in the game. And that's it, guys. Evoto AI has revolutionized the game when it comes to portrait editing. They've even got a platform called Evoto Instant that now lets you get edits in real time to your customers. They are doing an incredible work over at Evoto. If you'd like to try it, make sure you click the link in the description and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Evoto AI. Is this the next step in the evolution of photography? As always, this is Jaron Collins with Portrait to Corporate, where we do all things well. Thank y'all for like, comment, and subscribing. I will see y'all in the next one. Let's get it.